Good morning, Chairman Canepa, Vice Chairman Dhaliwal, Administrator Regalo. Thank you for having us here today. And this truly is an honor for us to be here to talk about 175 years. See, your anniversary coincides with our anniversary because we were created by the same document. We're a constitutional office like the sheriff and the treasurer tax collector that created the county. So we also are celebrating our 175 years. We have a PowerPoint that we're very eager to show you, and there it is, just like magic. So state constitution created us 175 years ago when the counties were first recognized, when the state was first created, and we were created as the chief law enforcement officer of the county. That we weren't actual police officers, but we were coordinating with our law enforcement efforts in the county. So with nothing more to say, how about we begin with our 175 years in 5 minutes or less. We'll begin. I play to my audience. Thank you, Supervisor. So we do have our first district attorney. My crack research staff was able to locate him, Thomas Broadhead Van Buren, a third cousin twice removed from President Van Buren, and he was the district attorney for approximately 9 months. He then returned to the East Coast, where he was from, fought in the Civil War. He fought on the Union side. He was anti-slavery, and later retired to become a consulate to Japan and never returned to San Joaquin County again. But he did not practice in the courthouse because we did not have a courthouse in 1850 when we started. Court was held in hotels, it was held in saloons, and it was eventually held in the French ship, the Suzanne, which also contained the jail. So that was our very first courthouse, a boat in the Delta. Moving on, in 1853, the county built its first courthouse. This was shared by the county and by the state, and it contained the district attorney's office. Its location, where we are today, 222 East Weber. So, and that's existed for about 35 years until the second courthouse was demolished. The first courthouse was demolished, and the second courthouse was erected, and groundbreaking was in 1890. So, doing the math, you saw that there was a short overlap. So where were we at that time? That's right, we returned to saloons, hotels, and we did not return to a boat. The second courthouse was erected at 222 East Weber. We kind of lose track as to the district attorneys in that time, but our countdown begins in 1926 with the Honorable Gardera, the 31st district attorney. Following that was the 32nd district attorney from 35 to 39, the Honorable Forsyth Charles Crowdsley. 1940 to 43, also serving one term, was the Honorable Raymond Indune. And serving about 10 years was the Honorable Chester Watson. In the 1953 office, that consisted of 7 individuals, a couple of attorneys, an investigator, and I believe 1 clerical. So if you're doing the math up to this point, you realize that in our first 100 years, we had 34 district attorneys, and then being the 42nd district attorney, in our last 75 years, we had only 8. So, and the historians tell me that, honestly, in the beginning, nobody wanted the job. So there was very high turnover. You were forced to do it for a period of about a year or something else, and then it may have came back to you on that. But now we see that people do have the job for a longer period of time. In 1947, a World War II veteran, Malcolm Graham, was hired as the first district attorney investigator. He was later appointed chief because we had 3 more investigators in 1962, and in 1977, they were recognized as official police officers. 1954, serving a 4-year term, was Bradford M. Crittenden, the Honorable District Attorney of San Joaquin County, who went on to become the Commissioner of the California Highway Patrol. Just in time, Supervisor Rickman. And also was a regional advisor for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The 36th District Attorney was the Honorable Lawrence Stravon Sr. He was the District Attorney for about 10 years and then became a judge, and the law school in our county is named after him. His legacy is so great that 3 of his children went on to practice in San Joaquin County. One of whom is still practicing, his son David, and 4 of his grandchildren are still practicing law in San Joaquin County, one of whom is supervising Deputy District Attorney Todd Turner. He's still with the office to this day. So we're very proud of him and his accomplishments. In 1961, again, we have a new courthouse and county administration building. It is the building that we are in now, located at, that's right, 222 East Weber. To build this, the old building was demolished in 1957, and for 4 years we were back in, that's right, the Stockton Hotel. No, we weren't in bar rooms, but we were also in businesses. So now we have our 3rd courthouse built in the same location, and we've now moved on to our 37th District Attorney, Joseph Baker. Joseph Baker, this is the first office photograph that we were able to locate of the entire district attorney's office. He was known for his love of cigars, as you see in the photograph. Also, his love of investigators and clerical, and his dislike of his attorneys. So in this photograph, none of his attorneys are in this picture. He did take a picture with his investigators. His attorneys are in the next photograph that was taken. This is District Attorney's Office, circa 1992. And in the front, we might recognize that individual. We call her Justice Connie Callahan of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Also in the photograph are 3 judges in the back row, and in the middle, the Honorable Bernard Garber, Honorable James Handerstone, and the Honorable Terrence Van Oss. If you see the individual in this just a little right of center in the middle of the photograph with the sunglasses, that's John Phillips, who later becomes elected district attorney. Next to him is Dick Eichenberger. And if you go between them, in the 2 rows behind him is Jim, go back. Go back to that is Jim Willett. So you have 3 district attorneys, 3 future elected district attorneys of the office that are in there. We have other individuals still practicing in the area. Steve Taylor is in there, Mirko Kuzina, who's still Paul Balistracci, a great group. In the front row to the left, with the white blouse and the sweater, is Diane Beatrice, and that leads us into our next slide. Our first victim witness advocate, which was created in 1980, now run by our director, Gabriella Wargi, and I'm proud to tell you, provided services to over 20,000 victims last year, which was a record for the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office. Moving on, after the retirement of Joseph Baker, we had Dick Eichenberger, who was involved with UOP Athletics, served 1 term creating the first child abuse sexual assault team. We see in the 80s that because of grants from the states that there was more opportunities now for vertical prosecutions, where a prosecutor would take a case from start to finish. This was already commonly done in the homicide division, but in the 50s, it wasn't unusual for everybody to do everything, since there were only 4 to 6 attorneys in the office. But now we see offices growing, there's specialization, and the child abuse sexual assault team was led by Connie Callahan, also had Paul Balistracci, Millie Rudd, later Giuliani, and Jim Willett. In the next term, John Phillips took office, winning the election against Dick Eichenberger, and served for 19 years. And according to our records, that's the longest tenure of any of our elected district attorneys in San Joaquin County. John established court branches in Lodi, Manteca, and Tracy, our circuit courts, created the Environmental Protection Unit and the gang unit. Also in 1994, implemented the Officer Involved Protocol, which is very unique to San Joaquin County at the time, in that district attorney investigators, the Department of Justice, coroner's office, all work hand in hand whenever one of our agencies has an officer-involved shooting, so that we have transparency in the investigation, resulting in a memo and the clearing rate. So John Phillips, our 39th district attorney. John also was the first. Since the logo up until that point was the Scales of Justice, he asked that a new logo be drawn, and in 1995, this was unveiled as our logo that you see: Lady Justice, the county, the state of California, and our motto, Justitia Omnibus. In 2000, the Youth Leadership Academy was created, providing activities for high school students. Approximately 40 to 60 high school students participate in an exposure to the district attorney's office, the court system, and law enforcement. And in those 25 years of the Youth Leadership Academy, over 1,000 graduates. Some have come back, and many have worked in San Joaquin County with the great work. Our 40th district attorney is James Willett. James started in the office in 1979. His father worked in the office in the 50s. So after a long history, Jim became elected following John Phillips's retirement, and was a district attorney for about 11 years. His passion was family crime, so he saw that the first family crimes unit, where child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, and elder abuse were all overseen by the same department, by the same supervisor, and the same individual. Therefore, we're sharing knowledge and working to prevent violence in our homes and protecting our vulnerable victims. And also doing that, he created the Family Justice Center, as we see in our next photograph. We have a photograph of the District Attorney's Office from 2013. In this photograph, you may see ADA Rick Price up in the back pillar, and some guy with a pretty loud striped tie over here on the far right end. So also in this photograph, interesting enough, is an individual who was in the 1982 photograph, John Calabrese. So John is with the District Attorney's Office, and him and Jim are, I believe, and Steve Taylor are the only three carryovers from the 1982 photograph. 2014, the Family Justice Center was created, and since taking office, we are proud to say that last year they provided a record number of services to victims. Over 3,000 victims were given services, and we now have a record number of partners as a hub organization with 30 different partners. And this is my sales pitch, that if an individual needs something to do, we would love to have them be part of our board, joining our president, Chief of Staff Edith Villapudua, and the other members of the board that do God's work every single day fighting for our victims. 2017 created a change. This is the third courthouse in the county, and we were not invited to be in it. So we were left behind, and but you also see in the bottom of the photograph, Lady Justice from our second courthouse did make the trip, even though we were not able to. And here we have our 39th and our 42nd district attorney. I'm being sworn in by John Phillips. This is an important part of the oath. Every single district attorney, and upon taking this oath, I was told by John Phillips one thing, and that is to do the right thing. And I'm very proud to say that every single district attorney has been told that exact same phrase, and we use that today, that it is the district attorney's job to do the right thing. Also, since this day that this picture was taken, a murder trial has taken place every single day in San Joaquin County, which also speaks to the volume of work that we do, now filing over 13,000 cases a year. And also, there has been a murder in juvenile hall, housed in juvenile hall every single day since this photograph was taken. which was about, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago or something. That was a joke. We're very proud of our accomplishments with the District Attorney's Office that since taking office. We're proud that we have over 175 hires in slightly over the 2.5 years since taking office. We've raised community safety. We've also raised office morale. We've raised our charging rate from the state low 53% to now well into the 70s. We raised the number of trials and contested hearings that we do every single year. We've decreased fentanyl deaths with campaigns such as the One Pill Can Kill bus that we see up on the screen. We've raised fentanyl-related overdose deaths 25% last year. We also did this by being one of the first in the state to have race-blind charging, making sure that cases are charged because of evidence, not because of ethnicity. We've given over $500,000 to youth programs. We also have achieved the largest environmental protection award in the state's history, almost $49 million. And this can't be done without the great team and the great staff that we have with the District Attorney's Office. Also, we're very proud of our enforcement component. Here we have our District Attorney investigators, and led by Chief Bill Hutto and Assistant Chief Brian Fry. In the last 2.5 years, rejoined many different multi-agency task force, including the Metro Narcotics, the Delta Rat Auto Theft Task Force, the AB 109, the Rural Crimes Task Force, the Impact Fraud Prosecutions. We also, in the last 2.5 years, have created 4 new task forces, including our Animal Cruelty Coalition, our Cold Case Task Force with the Sheriff's Office, our Assault Human Trafficking Task Force, which just celebrated its 1-year anniversary, and our High Tech Task Force. So we're very proud of all the law enforcement efforts that we are working with together. I'm also proud to say that we're within 5 positions of almost being completely staffed with district attorneys, investigators, having over 40% vacancy at the time of taking office. So what does the future hold? We have a new building coming. The parking structure has solar. The Family Justice Center and Assault Task Force have moved into the Chase building. The South County office, which will be the first full-service district attorney's office, providing not only attorneys, but investigators, Family Justice Center, victim witness advocates, will be located in South County with a ribbon cutting, hopefully before the end of this year. Our Safe Bar program, which will make our patrons more safer and prevent tampering, and we're also lobbying very hard to reopen the Tracy Courthouse. So we're very proud of our 175 years of service. If you look closely in this photograph, John Calabrese is in this photograph for a third one. So he's the only one that have made all 3 photographs in this. But are very grateful for our partnerships that we do this. Our law enforcement partners in the county, we cannot do this. I have 2 of the best, which is Sheriff Pat Withrow and Chief Probation Officer Steve Jackson. My private, public, and faith-based partners. Every single day, my office is fighting for justice. We're fighting for our victims, and we're doing the right thing. Also, we want to thank you, Board of Supervisors. We cannot do this without you. Your faith in us makes this happen. We're very excited about doing this, and we look forward to doing it for 175 years more. I'd be neglectful if I didn't recognize the individuals that created this presentation. So I'd like to thank my public information officers and my IT staff, Rosie Calderon, Aaron Haight, and Tracy Newhouse to make this happen. My assistants, Lisa Madrigal and Melissa Fogg, and my ADA, Rick Price, who make sure that all this gets done. But we are very honored to be part of the 175-year anniversary, whether we are the largest law office in the county that has created the most judges or provided the most victim services, but more importantly, that we are the representative of the people of San Joaquin County and the state of California, that we represent every single individual through diversity and making sure that our community is safe so that greatness can grow here. So with that, I ran a little bit past 5 minutes, but thank you very much for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you.